Hello everyone and welcome back to Anno 800, looking at, well, not that much yet, looking at our Vega Queen settlement where, well, the chocolate production is about to explode. There was a battleship once again that just destroyed some of our ships. I don't really mind that one bit. Let's continue. I would like to go ahead and cracking on my, productions, basically. So we had the chocolate production in the last episode. We were actually in the process of finishing this one up, and I would really like to finish this one really now. So let's just build the cocoa plantations here. So 12 we have for now. Let's make it 14. That should really be enough. I'm also going ahead here with the coffee plantations, costing me basically all the timber that I really have. Let's just build all of them. It doesn't matter if I'm having a bit of a surplus production there. Really doesn't. We are completely capped anyway on money, so that bit doesn't matter. The big production meantime here, or the big destruction, is gone again. So Auspicious Isle is once again working. My ships are a bit damaged perhaps, but overall fine. And I've also done something here to counter the decreased amount of battleships that are roaming around again. And that is, I've reinstalled my weapon production. So this one is cracking again. Of course, I deactivated that because I thought that military-wise we would be untouchable, but we are not, because those battleships are taking away my ships slowly but steadily. Also, the building materials for my airship hangar foundation are in, so that means it should be getting its resources now. There it is, and with that we can finally start on the airship hangar construction. It doesn't take that much really, just a bit of time really, and some very rare materials like the steam motors later on then that we will need. Now I don't need to be here anymore. I'm just going to keep that ship to know where I need to go for the airship, right? Because I think that quest is not really telling us where, so I rather keep that ship up there just as a waypoint for now. Nothing else that we really need to do here is for the gas, for the plateaus, the actual reason why I'm here. I still need to advance with the quest, and we just have to wait there now a tiny bit of more time. Now what I could still do is having a look at my coal. There's lots of coal coming in thanks to my trade routes, which allows me in turn well, get us on a few more buildings here that we can have, right? So we can continue advancing the settlement just a bit for the heck of it, just to, you know, make this one bigger, as yeah, this is kind of like the mega city, as I like to call it in Cape Storms. It's not really a mega city. I mean, it's going to look nice, right? It's going to have a monument, but that's about it. I mean, what can you do at minus 20 degrees during summer peak? I don't know. I certainly wouldn't want to live here, period. Certainly nice vacation, though, from time to time with a sauna. At least if they have a sauna, they will have a sauna if I come. And to my shame, I have to say that I don't find any, like seriously, any cocoa boosting or chocolate boosting items anywhere at all. It is pretty strange, right? I mean, we have the quality chocolate there, that's it. He doesn't really boost any productivity or anything like that. We do have the certificate of industrial standard that basically just makes these buildings a bit less prone to fires. Actually, plus 30%. Let's get rid of that again. Who needs that? But that's really it. I haven't found anything else other than boosting my cocoa plantations themselves. Yes, by the way, Bente still has an island up here in the New World, fully staffed with cannons and whatnot. We might be starting on build or purchasing the shares there if I really want to. At the moment, I'd rather save the influence for more buildings that we're going to need eventually, like the museum and so I'm not really in the mood of purchasing another island there. Well, item-wise, we have some nice epic items here for the botanical garden, this one, and I think over here in Auspicious Isle and in Tristão. So let's get this ship, get the items, and get it back to Crown Falls as well. And here we still have some ships available as well that are idle. And as we can see, those ships are waiting. Cigar and chocolate on this one, and this one is waiting for coffee then. And I hope that coffee is really full now. And cigar, oh boy, really? Both of them are here. Let's put this one on hold for now and let the coffee do its rest, because no idea why both the cigar and chocolate traders are now in town. Seems to be very strange. And yep, let's actually unload those items. Those are for the cocoa plantations up here. So there we have now the horticulturalist Herman. Productivity 20% for the cocoa plantation. On top of that, we got the arborist, productivity 15% for the plantations. And on top of that, we got tree surgeon productivity 12% on top of that. So once again, these cocoa plantations are boosted to the brim. They have way too many modules, but be honest, we are never going to need more than that. Now, building materials are in. Let's start building my cocoa factories or my chocolate factories. I think with those we should be fine. That's the production here. And now I will see how much coffee beans I will actually need. By the way, in Crown Falls, since resources are coming in, I would like to continue getting us more investors. And bear in mind, this is looking like very much the same now, everything here. It's going to change now finally once we have the skyscrapers coming in, because we add a lot of variety to the buildings then. Let's upgrade those people there as well, and perhaps this block. And there we still have some more. Holy cow, that's a lot of investors now finally coming into the city. And these blocks here we can also completely finish. Perfect. It's just very nice overall to have lots and lots of building materials there, perhaps. And a few more artisans, 2 engineers. Can't hurt. We have a huge artisan workforce in our city, so I can happily continue upgrading them. Those guys here in this harbor area as well. Perhaps here a few more upgrades. And perhaps a bit further up there. Very nice, those guys. And I think that's it for now. There we still have some artisans. Let's go ahead with that. Yeah, and those guys here. Why not? This will certainly increase my coffee consumption quite a bit once more. And let's also just check my welfare. I've paused it because of a lack of filaments. We still have that lack of filaments. It's incredible, really. I need to push my filament production there further and further. With everything basically that I have. Wait a second, we do need some bricks there as well for Larson. Let's get this one over. And let's continue in the new world there once more. Because here I can now check my coffee. And as we can see, it's exactly at 0. So we just got enough coffee beans for the chocolatiers that we have right now. Isn't that a nice coincidence? Now I could continue getting us a few more coffee plantations working then. And I'm probably going to do that. Just here, this one will probably need a few more fields. Let's just make this one finished. Perfect. There it is. To have a bit of a surplus there as well, working them. And for the cocoa itself, we are sitting at +2. And for the chocolate production itself, we're sitting at 10, which is not enough yet, obviously. We do need... I think it was 7, right? And I wanted to go for 14, something like that. Oh, we are at 9 now with all the upgrades, right? There you see. So we really do need to have that surplus. We need essentially. This one here needs to get into the trade union area. This one we can still build, right? So they all get their boost. And I think that's it for now. What the heck? Let's just build us one more here. That should be fine for now. They all get their bonuses and they all have their appropriate ones. Perfect. We can create a new trade route. It's the last New World goods that we need for Cape Trelawney, which is really just all about the chocolate and nothing else in that case here. And we're going to pack it full with chocolates. Let's make it... We could make it full and then let's wait it for goods. Right, it's going to take a very long time initially. Let's just see and wait how that turns out. And it's only going to be one trade route in this stock, so it's totally fine doing it. Piranha is going to be on this trader, and that's that one. Right, for that we have now 2 chocolate traders, really, the cigars, right, that are getting the chocolate there from passive bonuses, and the chocolate vigor that is basically a dedicated route. Let's put both of them to the New World. Cape Trelawney, we have the champagne. I do need to keep this one here sorted. This one is actually the Arctic. So this should be an Arctic trade route. Cape Trelawney, and we will now need to create a new group, and that is the Arctic group that we have then here. There you go. So that we have this one all sorted and we know where is what. Perfect. So this one is really waiting now quite some time, but once it starts shipping, well, then it has a lot of chocolate in store, and by having 16 per minute right now, it should fill up just nicely. Meanwhile, in the Arctic, the airship foundation is finished. There we have it. Let's finish that one, and we can start seeing a structure appearing. We now need to build the roof. Is there any other one? Yeah, requirement would be the technician's workforce. We have enough, perfect. Reinforced concrete and steel beams, and 10 minutes of our time. We have everything for this next step. The Guzzler, you still have something in store that I would like to give to my clipper. Right, so there you go. Why is this one not working? Now it's working. And you go back to Crown Falls because this one here needs to get us more resources than 40 airships that I would like to build. A couple of them really for trade routes because they're very efficient, fast. Now this brings me to some major changes that we're going to have now in Crown Falls, and that is all about the Docklands. I've already been saying that the Docklands will not stay here forever, at least not in their final form, and some of you have been suggesting it rightly so. The Docklands should probably be over here. First of all, we have a nice big harbor area, and we got some industry here too, right? So the Docklands, they kind of like go from the city area merging right with the industry area. It just makes more sense, and we have lots of space for the dozens of modules that we add. And this one is kind of like a beauty harbor then, where we have the tourists coming in, because I will also need to build the tourist mooring now, our building for that. So I think this makes more sense. My trade routes will hopefully not get messed up with that when I move this one over. What I will need to do here is I will need to temporarily move my shipyards away, because basically they're costing me some resources. There are some space there right now. I also got my steam shipyard that needs its electricity, and we do have the sand mines here. Now the sand mines I will definitely need to move over there for quite some time. I think it's 4 that we have there right now. Yep, 4. So I'm going to move all 4 of them over now, and we're probably going to expand their sizes as well. So let's just have this one here. As we can see, we don't have a lot of harbor space, so I think this is the only viable option really that we have for now. There we'll have another warehouse with its connection, and then the connection there. And this is just temporarily, because the sand is probably something I'm getting in with the Docklands eventually. There you go. And that means I no longer need those sand mines here. Let's also destroy this depot there. This depot we can keep for now, because of course the primary depot will be from the Docklands, right? I can now move my steam shipyard into this area. I still have one sand mine here. The oil harbor will stay for now. That will probably going to integrate into my Docklands. And boom, we have lots of space really. That is going to make for a nice area. Here, I'm probably going to have a crossing like so that the street goes both ways into that area. And here we can now have our Docklands really working then for us. And as we can see, most of it we can really move over already. I will though need to destroy a few buildings. There you go. And let me tell you, moving the Docklands is not easy, because every module needs to move with it, and not every module lets itself be moved so easily. There we have then a nice harbor area that we can decorate if we want to, right? So a couple of these here, and probably also all the way to that side. And then of course with the harbor buildings themselves in this area. And on the other side, we can now fully start using our modules. And boy, we can use a lot of modules. Luckily, the ships are already coming in, as we can see. By the way, I think, yes, the ornaments are left behind, unfortunately. So I will need to get rid of them here once more. Bye-bye, you go. There is coming something else here then, though. That is going to make a lot of sense. Those thingies are gone. And there will be then something else here, the tourist mooring. We're probably going to keep the Grand Trading Post though, as I think it's a very decorative building. Now for the Docklands itself, let's start moving around those things. So the export offices, for example, we have closer to the area, righto, and the depots, for example, we have a bit further outside them, as they also cost harbor area. Right, and I think what we can do is we can build quite a lot of export offices. Only 2. Alright, let's build both of them. We do need to build them in order to increase the trade contracts that we have. And some of these goods here are bound to trade contracts, like the light bulbs, 27 before we can start trading with that. Of course, I'm not intending to trade with light bulbs, but I think the cotton fabric, 20 trade contracts, that will definitely be on our list at some point. Let's move the piers to the outer area for now, so the ships can use it for now, right? So there we have it. What is going on? It's just really maneuvering right into the whole thing here and destroying it, right? So it really has its intention of destroying the trading post there once more. My weapon factory should be working now, so we should be having some weapons in store again. There you go, and I probably will start a trade route here as well. Yeah, and advanced weapons, of course. That is something that I will need to focus on soon. Let's just see that we have here everything. So these depots really don't make much sense there for now. By the way, look at that, how far away we can build those modules. It's beautiful, right? So we can have our whole depot being then messed up here, right? And we could have it looking at each other, making smaller canals than in the center. Oh yes, this is going to be a great Docklands, really. Let's just move a couple of them over there. Now let's continue making full rows of these storages here that we can have. So this is a whole storage building. As we can see, it's merging together just nicely there. Of course, here I will need more export offices. We also have the loading wharf, a pretty important building here that is reducing the loading times by 50% for all the ships that are docking in this area. So this might be another pretty important building that we can just add then here to speed it up even further. The problem though is, of course, that I really would like to reserve the space here for more export offices because we are needing a lot of them, right? So we can add a few more of the loading wharfs then in this area. Just fine, and this should further reduce it. Let's also have some more storages there. Here, right, so there we, for example, have then a full dock building already, and at the end of it, we could then, for example, implement one of these piers, or we have the piers, I don't know, a bit closer perhaps here for now, as this one might be working too. And over there, let's just move this building a bit further over there, right? But we're a bit bound here now by the limits of the Docklands still, so we can't build any more export offices. The repair crane is not really needed. A harbor master office makes a bit more sense perhaps for the items we could use on that. So this one, right, allows us to have more items then usable for that. But that's about it. And as we can see, this was just a trade there, by the way, for the coffee, and it was extremely quick thanks to the loading wharves that are speeding it up. Right, so a massive Docklands is starting to build up here. We are going to use the whole area, and that means now I have space over here in the other side of Crown Falls in the harbor area. Here we do have then our trading post, or I probably will move it after all. What we definitely want to have here now is our tourist mooring that we have at the public mooring. Enables the visitors to finally arrive in Crown Falls. Very important, really. Let's just see how we can squeeze it in. And I probably would like to have it as centrally as possible. So like that. There we have them. And with that, we open up the tourism DLC now too. Not Sean, but it must be the other one. The gal. Right, there she is, the first tourist. Public mooring we have. And by the way, this is only the beginning of something great here, because we get some monuments for the harbor prepared as well that I haven't built yet, that I'm looking forward to. Beside it, we might be having then... Actually, I don't think the trading post fits in here really. The storages I'm definitely going to move. I'm actually going to... We're at 2,900 storage capacity, 2,700. I can get rid of that, right? We don't need it, and have, for example, my repair cranes. But further away, these here do lack still the road connection. Otherwise, we can't use them. And in Docklands, where we have now the oil pier, the commute pier I could have on the other side as well, because this is for the people here, right? Let's just squeeze in our work or a commute pier perhaps a bit further outside here, in this area. And then we probably have the trading post a bit more central then as well. Something like that. So this is starting to look like a proper harbor then. Of course, we're going to add some piers here then and some more decorations. There's the weapons now coming in. With those weapons, I will definitely need to build a couple more ships. Influence-wise, it's no longer a problem. But I need to ramp up my ship production.
An influence bonus.
There's a couple more out. And I will also now create a new trade route from Distant Forest to Crown Falls for the weapons. And it's probably only going to be that. And the clipper will be on it that we've just used. There it is, San Juan. And it doesn't need to wait, of course. Right. Off you go, getting us the weapons to Crown Falls again. And then, of course, it's all about the advanced weapons that I will need to start now. But first, looking at my Docklands, we have now lots and lots of new contracts available that I can finally use and that I will need to use. So the Caoutchouc is already utilizing, very good. We have also lots of soap again. And it's going to be the saltpeter. Because we don't have a single island at the moment that has the saltpeter resource, as we can see. It's incredible, really. There's only a couple of them, like this one here. This big island there, and this big island that has saltpeter. Either we conquer this island, or we just get it from the Docklands. And I think this is the route that I would like to go here. Bread is not being used that much yet, and we don't need that much saltpeter anyway, so 100 tons will be fine for this for now. And with that, we can then start our advanced production, our advanced weapon production. So far, so good. A couple more unlocks that we'll have then soon as well with the trade contracts, and only with that we can really continue. And by the way, yes, now that I remember it, in order to unlock more trade contracts, we need more items that we trade, of course. This is a bit tricky, right? So we do need to level up some items for the volume alone. So it's not something that is particularly valuable. And do we have anything that we have en masse? Wool, for example. I could just really get wool to level up in, for example, in exchange for fish. Exporting goods, right? It's all about exporting, so this might be something. So let's just try to export 1000 wool for 400 fish. It's not for the fish itself really that's valuable here. This one we push down a bit, right? But it's for the level up of wool, and we can only do this with the export volume in order to unlock more trade contracts then, ultimately, and more items along the way. So far so good. This one changed now over there. Of course, it's the beginning, but now this layout is completed more or less, and we can really start adding new buildings then to the harbor areas of Crown Falls. Stay tuned.